One of the marvelous qualities of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was his infinite patience. The Quranic word used for patience is Sabr, and there is no English equivalent for it. We can convey the idea of Sabr only by phrases such as endurance against afflictions, patience with delay, perseverance against hardships, steadfastness in the face of setbacks, courage against hostilities, self-restraint against provocations, willpower against temptations, and equanimity or calmness of mind as regards fortunes and misfortunes. The Prophet was a perfect model to his followers. His life was the shining example of a man of extraordinary endurance. His father died before his birth. His mother died when he was only 6 years old. And his grandfather, who took up his guardianship, also died soon. Then it was his uncle Abu Talib who protected him, and when God appointed him his last prophet, he was faced with the most brutal persecution and hostility from his own people. But these harsh experiences of life did not make him a cynic. On the contrary, they perfected his faith in God, making him all the more strongly committed to his God-given mission. The Prophet, peace be upon him, spurned all these offers and said, "I swear by the name of God, O uncle, that if they place the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left hand in return for giving up this matter calling people to Islam, I will never desist until either God makes it triumph or I perish defending it." And imagine the day when the Prophet, peace be upon him, had to leave his home, his city, and his people and emigrate to another place. The Hijra, as the emigration of the Prophet from Mecca to Medina is known, was a great sacrifice and a painful decision for the Prophet at the time when he undertook it. But his personal comforts, likes, he taught and dislikes had no value when in the face of the immense task before. Ask it from Allah, him, and if you seek help, seek once a man approached the Prophet seeking advice, and the Prophet said, "Do not get angry." The man asked for advice several times, and the Prophet replied every time, "Do not get angry." The questioner was probably one disposed to a quick temper, and so the Prophet, peace be upon him, was stressing the need to control his anger. The Prophet also said, "He who is deprived of forbearance and gentleness is, in fact, deprived of all good." Instead, in a historic break from the old tradition, the Prophet gave amnesty to all his former enemies. He told them, "You may go. You are a free people," authenticated by Al-Albani. Unfaltering loyalty to the cause of God is the virtue of prophets. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a brilliant example of a man committed to his divinely appointed mission. So it is no wonder that he stood firm against all opposition and finally succeeded in winning over the hearts and minds of millions. Moral: for those who practice Sabr in Islam, there is always the unfailing promise and prospect of a never-ending world of felicity.